first video we posted together, we got 11 plus million views on that one.
In about 60 days of working together, we went to 60,000 followers. How many followers did you have when we started working together?
Under 4,000.
As an entrepreneur myself, if I have a team in place and they're getting training, they're learning, and I know that I'm not relying and dependent on someone else, and that's why when we built our offer, that's what was our natural direction rather than having a completely done for you kind of service.
I would never imagine these level of results for myself in such a short time.
Hey Charlie, how you doing, man? Appreciate you being here today with me.
No worries, Brian. Good to see you again.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. For the people that are watching this video and they don't know who you are, I even know if you have a little bit of clout. Can you just give a quick introduction about yourself and what you do?
Sure, yeah. I'm Charlie Hills. I'm an AI content creator, specifically over on LinkedIn. But in 2026, I've been growing on other social media platforms too. You know, I run a ghostwriting agency, I run a SaaS product, paid community, and yeah, a few other things too.
Love it, man. Love it. So we started working together a few months ago. I would say a little over 2 months, almost three now. And I wanted to jump on this call to kind of have a bit of a check-in on the results so far in your experience. So just to give people some data and results that we got so far. In about 60 days of working together, we went to 60,000 followers. How many followers did you have when we started working together?
It was definitely under 4,000.
Okay. So let's say like 3.5K, almost 4 to 60,000 followers, and more than 20 million views on Instagram in about 60 days of working together. The first thing that I want to ask you is, how does it feel?
It feels pretty amazing, to be honest, because I'm always chasing growth. I always want more. But when I put it into perspective, because someone from my team sent me a screenshot of when we first started out and we had literally like just a few thousand followers, I'm like, damn. We've done this in around 3 months, which is crazy because I remember when I joined, I was like, Brian, do you think I can hit 50K followers in 6 months? And you were like, I think 100K, Charlie. And like, we are well on that trajectory right now. So definitely, it's blown away my expectations of what I thought we could achieve.
Love it, man. Really love to hear that. And I want to ask you something. When we first started working together, like it's no secret, you already said it, that you are big on LinkedIn. You're very respected there. Like you're one of the biggest creators on LinkedIn, especially in your niche. What was the main reason why you decided to take Instagram more seriously this year?
For me personally, 2026 was all about diversification because LinkedIn is a great social media platform, but you can't really have all your eggs in one basket anymore, especially as I've seen in the past 2 years of being on LinkedIn. Organic reach has slowly declined year on year. So I thought I really need to crack another platform. And Instagram was the next logical choice for me. It's just one of the best platforms, I think, that I could have chosen because no one uses Facebook anymore and stuff like that. So I was like, hey, Instagram's next on my agenda to grow on.
And did you have clarity? I mean, you were a content creator. You are a content creator, right? We cannot hide that. But did you have clarity over how Instagram worked? Like, would you say that you had a system before working together, or was it kind of like exploring a new platform for you completely?
So this is the thing with Instagram. I'd been analyzing people for 6 months or so. I was like looking at how they're creating content. I was like, yeah, I've got this, man. And I actually tried before working with you. I'd post a few reels and think that I was doing everything right. But every time I'd post, I'd get a few hundred views and it just never really helped me grow. So if you asked me before working with you, I'd like to say, yeah, of course I do. But actually after starting to work with you, I was like, actually, no, I've got this all wrong. I'm not, I nowhere near had as much clarity as I do now.
Love to hear that. And what would you say are the things that we helped you the most with that allowed you to gain this clarity? Like, what are the things that you thought you were doing good before working together, but then once you actually saw the system that we use, you were like, okay, that's why I was not growing?
I think for me, it was very much, firstly, the big thing for me was accountability, because ultimately I invested and then was like, oh shit, like we've actually got to do something here. Like I've got to hire people, I've got to start growing. And because of that, like it really forced me to really put a lot more effort than I was prior, because Instagram was always an afterthought. Secondly, it was actually approaching content in a more, thought out way of actually engineering views rather than just posting something and hoping. And thirdly, it was just obviously the continuous feedback on like how to write a script, how to actually make your B-rolls feel understandable and clear with what you're presenting. I think that, to me, it feels like simple tricks, but I didn't understand. I didn't have the experience. I didn't
Yeah.
have the advice prior to that.
100%. And something else that I really liked about our experience so far, that I really like about the offer that we have is, of course, I want you to have full clarity over the process, but also, as you were saying, it's you actually hired a team and now you're working with them. And this was a team that didn't exist before. Do you see the value in you not being alone now? And of course, with our training, but now having an in-house team that is helping you do all of this.
100%. I think my advice to any content creator is just hire sooner, because for a long time you think that you can just do it all by yourself. You know, it's just one video, but actually LinkedIn in itself is a full-time job. So I wouldn't be able to do any of this without this team. And ultimately, it's great because they don't just do stuff for me, but they actually push back and say like, Charlie, no, we should try this approach. CCC say we should do this, and it's a great way not to just like outsource work, but to also swap different ideas and to actually kind of get better as a whole team rather than just using them to do a specific function when it comes to Instagram.
100%, man. Because sometimes we get this objection, right? And sometimes it's why you and not an agency that does everything for me. And to a certain degree, of course, I understand the whole agency approach and the appeal with that. But as an entrepreneur myself, if I have a team in place and they're getting training and they're learning, and I know that I'm not relying and dependent on someone else. Of course, with the training, you always need to, pay to understand and invest. But as a business owner myself, I really value having an internal team that gets it. And that's why when we built our offer, that's what was our natural direction rather than having a completely done for you kind of service, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think that was really appealing. I actually reached out to a done for you service prior to working with you guys. Ultimately, that sounds very appealing. You're going to have it all done for you, but it didn't really feel like the right approach. So when I met you and you said, hey, we're going to train your team, that was a super attractive offer because ultimately we're getting better and better every single video, every single month versus outsourcing it to an agency. You stop working with the agency and then the next month, and has helped me as a content creator get better, but then also my team too. So 100%.
No, to hear that, Charlie. And you're completely honest with me. I'm just curious, like it's great data for me. What would you say is the part of the process and the program that surprised you the most and that you think that is being the most valuable? For you and the team?
Ultimately, the part that I used the most is definitely the one-to-one feedback. What impressed me was ultimately like how much you have within the program. Like you have the community, you have the courses. But for me personally, it is that one-to-one feedback from people who have done it for years and really understand Instagram way better than I ever could. So that definitely the hand holding, which I say hand holding, but ultimately like the first video we posted together, we got 11 plus million views on that one. So it clearly shows that it works. It's just that part. And also the fact that I can then outsource it to my team. You coach them, you train them, and it doesn't mean I have to be involved in every single touch point of the process when it comes to Instagram.
100%, man. And I would just like to stop 1 second on this principle and also the fact that the first video that we ever posted together got 11 million views.
Yeah.
And I mean, I say proudly as a coach, as a business owner, the offer is growing very fast because we're getting amazing results in the industry, results that are not common on Instagram. And I do genuinely believe that the reason why we're able to do that and the reason why we're able to get 11 million views on the first video is that, a lot of coaches out there, what they do is, hey, here's the process, here's the course, watch it. And then in a month, let's do like an assessment of the content. What we notice is like, if you were able for the first like few months of working together, actually reviewing every single piece of content before it goes out, like, from a business perspective, it's not an easy thing to do, right? You got to have the coaches, it takes a lot of resources, but the amount of results that we're able to get in those first 2-3 months, rather than having an approach of like, hey, Charlie, you got it, do it for 2 months, and then let's do an assessment. It's just night and day, right? So it's always so fulfilling to see like a first video getting that amount of reach, and then still in 2 months being able to grow 60,000 followers. I think you should be very proud of you and your team for executing. And I mean, we still have 3 months. We're literally halfway, so I think we're very well on track to hit that 100, and why not more, right?
100%. Yeah. I mean, all it takes is 11 million view post and then boom, we're there. So 100%.
Exactly. Something else that I want to ask you is, okay, 60,000 followers, okay, more than 20 million views. What are you most excited about though with what you learned so far? And let's say thing that you build now, this asset that you have at your disposal, what gets you the most excited about it when it comes to the future? Like, what are the opportunities that you see now happening?
Well, ultimately for me, coming from LinkedIn is very much image and text, whereas like to actually branch out into the world of video content is super exciting because that is the future, that is the present. And that just opens so many doors for me as a content creator when it comes to not just Instagram Reels, but TikToks and YouTube Shorts too. Like it's a whole different ball game. So for me personally, it's actually to grow as a creator and then also to build more trust with my audience, not just through LinkedIn posts, but actually like YouTube videos and everything that I'm learning as a kind of newfound video creator via Instagram.
100%, man, because especially coming from LinkedIn, which is also the appeal of that platform, right? Like you don't have to film yourself in video, and that's a great selling point. And LinkedIn is a great platform, and we're actually in the process right now of growing on LinkedIn. But I think cracking as a business owner, just being able to crack the whole game of video, just open up so many more opportunities for you as a business owner. So totally agree with you there. 3 months in, I genuinely, like, I'm gonna tell Alicia after this call, but for the 6 month, we're gonna come over to London and we're gonna film a final interview in person.
Are you?
Because why not, man? Like we're gonna be over 100,000. I think that's gonna be worth a live interview. But so far, 3 months in the process, and again, I want you to be completely honest. If someone is thinking about working with us with CCC on their Instagram strategy, what would you honestly tell them after 3 months of working together?
I'd say, I mean, a lot of people do ask me, and I always tell them the same thing. I'm like, these guys get results. Like, look at my profile, look at people like Nasheen Chen. Like, it clearly works. The system, the strategy, it just works. Like, some people say, oh, but isn't it a done for you solution? I'm like, no, but that's not what you want. Like, you want the done with you want the coaching, you want the growth that comes with it. So I'd highly recommend, because I would never imagine these level of results for myself in such a short time. And yeah, I think it's the best approach when it comes to growing on Instagram. And one final thing is, so I'm very much just about growing my audience, but I know you guys do so much when it comes to appointment setting and sales strategies too. So it's really customizable, which I find is super appealing. It's not like, here's the template one and done solution for everybody. It's like, okay, Charlie wants this person wants that, and you completely customize it to the client's needs. So highly recommend.
I appreciate you saying that, brother. And I mean, when it comes to the customized approach, the moment where you're creating a personal brand, if the brand that you're building doesn't align with your values, morals, and what it is that you want to achieve, like what is the purpose of building it, right? So I appreciate you pointing that out, and that's something that we always try to do with our clients, which is, okay, what do you actually want to get out of this program? That's really what I try to understand the first goal, and how can we build a brand that reflects there. Charlie, really appreciate this call, man. Super excited for the next 3 months. I promise you we're going to come to London. We're going to make it happen, because why not, right? We can, so why not? And yeah, anything else that you want to do before closing this call?
No, just want to say thank you. It's a really great program, and yeah, I just love the fact that even you guys have a video, like a coach for video editing, then like coaches for it's such a great system, and yeah, I just can't thank you enough, Brian. Like, you've been really pivotal in the growth of my Instagram. So just thanks, man. I appreciate it.